Okay, this is a video on silicone wiring and upgrading your AEG. It is also known as like wet noodle wiring, is actually a more common name. But this is just a G&G version 2 Mechbox. It's actually one of the older versions. Um, and the only thing that's been done to this gun is actually has a Magnum motor. So this video is just about the wiring and the effects that this regular wiring can have on your gun, because these connections from your motor, they're actually really high resistance. These connectors are high resistance, and in this particular model, like just in this one line alone, there's 1, 2, and 3 of them plus your fuse. That can present a problem, especially if you want to go lipo, which a lot of people that I play with do. It just will basically ensure that your motor and all your contacts will last as long as you possibly want them to. What I'm going to be doing is just replacing these wires, and the beef actually I have with this gearbox is they actually run their wires inside of the gearbox. And that makes it difficult because the wiring that I'm putting in is actually quite a bit thicker. It's more about this gauge. So as you can see, that's a big difference. And you don't want to be touching the contacts or anything like that. And what I'm actually going to be doing is the gauge of wire inside of the gearbox is actually a thinner gauge than it is on the outside, and it's supposed to be like that, but it has a connector that connects those, and that's just a weak spot. On a regular gearbox, it actually has these extra set of contacts points right here, and that's actually for the other part of the full auto function, and the single fire functions in here. But with these mech boxes, it's all on these 2 wires. It's actually not another connection completing the circuit for the full auto. But basically what I'm going to be doing differently is because another design flaw with these is these wires here for the negative going to the motor is small, and it isn't. So there's no point in really making a bigger gauge wire on the outside of the gearbox if all of a sudden you're going to have the one important wire that's going to be small like that. It's kind of stupid, and that's kind of a disadvantage of having the wires inside the gearbox. So I'm actually going to figure a way to do that outside of the gearbox so all the wires are uniform and the same size, because when you're dealing with electrical, you gotta think of like, it's not going to increase your performance that much, but it will if you do everything correctly. I'm also going to be getting rid of these connectors, soldering them straight to the motor. Nick doesn't want to be opening up the gun too much, so that's good for people who want to do that. And also, like I said, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 connections in the line that are it's weak. So what else do I got here? Yeah, I explained that it has a different contact setup than these totally, and this is actually what it looks like when it's all done and nice, and it looks good. Yeah, I'm going to be making a follow-up video of what this is like when it's all together and what it looks like, but with all the wiring, and then another one when it actually is firing, and you'll notice a big difference. Alright. Alright, this is what it looks like when it's done. I put the new Dean's connectors on it. You can see it's ready to put the other end put on the battery. I got rid of all those nasty connections in there. Now it's nice and thick. So, and we can actually compare this with the old wire. quite a bit thicker in comparison, and this wire is a lot better. It's the most conductive wire you can get, so it's pretty awesome. So yeah, got rid of the fuse, this other connector. So, also, I explained what's going through this Mechbox, and I'm not sure if any other version 2s are the same, but there's only 2 wires and it comes down, and my big issue was actually not having a thick wire going down to the ground on the motor, and I was able to do that. I also got rid of this connection right here, and still able to put the bigger gauge to the smaller gauge like you should. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the other one. It's just all around. And it's very, you can tell why they call it wet noodle. It's definitely a very flimsy, nice wire. I also triple insulated all the ends so they won't wear, and just so they won't bend in as much. Same thing with here. These are actually triple insulated. So that's it.